Welcome to another audio version podcast of Wayne's World and Kelly. What's going on, big man? Nice tan.
You know, I knew we had rain coming in, so I made sure I got some sun this weekend. And I'm
Well,
telling
that's
you,
really good.
it's pretty funny because I don't know if you can tell, but where my wrinkles are underneath my eyes, it's actually like these white lines. So if I had a better camera, you could see it.
Yeah,
But
and using toner and bronze doesn't count.
no, I don't. My people that are all camera, they do some stuff, but not, they go, your hair looks great. You got good color. We don't really
How
work.
does this?
They
How
said
does
just
that
paint
hair
him.
look?
Oh, jeez, come on, dude, you're blinding.
All right. Well,
So here's an observation I made.
yeah. Go
Every
ahead.
time we go on to the show, I do this. I mean, I don't know why. It's like I could never make it. And if I was on, you know, doing a TV broadcast for like one of the lousy stations, and if I start every time by moving towards the camera, they'd probably tie me to the chair. But every time we start, I don't know why. I guess I'm excited to go, and I freaking move forward towards the camera.
Yeah, that is kind of a weird quirk you have, brother.
Yeah. And with no editing, I guess we're stuck with knowing that stupid fact. So,
We
first
are.
and foremost, I know we're both pleased that the hurricane is not hitting our coast, but we do have a great concern for our West Coast family over in the Tampa area. So, first and foremost, we want to, hope and pray that it's not nearly as bad as it could be. Um, and just, this is just part of the Florida life. And, we got gators and we have hurricanes, but we haven't had one in years. I guess it's been, I'm sorry, South Florida hasn't had them. Obviously, they've been hit on the panhandle the last few years. So a big, normally we don't talk a whole lot about my business or your business, but I thought let's talk about what your business is and how after people are impacted with such a terrible storm, how your company comes in and organizes and makes some things, go back to normal as far as their real estate.
Yeah. It's right now. It's the ability to take care of clients that have signed what's called a priority service agreement to make sure that they get the full and immediate attention, from the mitigation to assistance in filing the claim to assistance in settling the claim with them and ultimately doing the work. And then after that, since the vast majority of the people haven't signed a PSA because they think I'm aware of it, but it's never going to happen to me,
Right.
that's where the reality is going to really sit in, which is where we're kind of at right now. And I was on a call earlier with my team to figure out what it is that we're looking at as far as the amount of associations, commercial properties, and everything that it is that we're going to be looking at assisting them with. And right now, it's a lot. As we all know, in Florida, a hurricane has not hit Tampa since I believe it's 1918 or 1921, whatever. But it may have run out right now as far as the luck is concerned. So the most important thing that we want to do is make sure that we're there to mitigate, to assist our clients. And with a hurricane, it's the most unique situation in the fact that, I mean, as you can probably hear behind me, I'm in New Smyrna Beach and they're boarding up the bathroom at Bethune Beach where I'm at right now. So
Sure.
New Smyrna Beach is way on the other side of the state, but we're going to get a foot of rain. We're going to have high winds. And right now, this literally is like the eye of the storm. There is no wind at all. I'm looking at the Atlantic. There's no waves. It's really eerie. Hurricanes are what, emotional. They're dangerous. And pick your contractor wisely, because this is real, everybody that's watching this and all the joking Kelly and I do, this is real. And it's going to affect the people probably up from Fort Myers all the way up to Tampa and probably north of that. And it's real. We're there to help, like a lot of other companies are. Pick your contractor wisely, please. I've seen way too many situations go south where they will just pick anybody because they need somebody. that is not the time to do it, even though you need help. I don't know. I just wish people would have taken the priority service agreements a lot more, a lot
Well,
more seriously, because
it's,
it's going to get hard now. It really is, because now what they're doing is they're trying to, all the boards are going to lead from behind, which is a place you never want to be. You never
right.
want to be where they're at right now. But probably 99% of the boards and the cams that are watching this podcast, if you did not sign a priority service agreement, you are already behind the eight ball. Already you are. Now you can
Right.
call us, and abcwillhelp.com will be there to assist you. But there's going to be a list. There's
Right.
going to be a line. No one
And
wants to
it's,
be at the end of that one, do they, Mr. Kuhn?
they don't. Well, a lot of people know there was a past of my life where I was a hurricane chaser. I did get to chase a few in my career. And it's a really, first of all, I'm not brave. So it's kind of funny when I think back going, I can't believe I used to drive into the eye of hurricanes. And, I was the advanced guy, so we could bring our crews in. My favorite one, if it's such thing as a favorite, and it actually wasn't I was just talking to Greg Orndorff, who owns A1 Flood Tech up in Virginia, and he and I mobilized, went down to Nashville when they had that 1,000-year flood. And we showed up late. I was, come on, Greg, let's go. And he's like, I already got a good business here, but and I love to chase. But we went down there, and we had a great guy, BJ, that was on our team, who actually had family in Nashville. So we did take care of his family's house, which was pretty special. We pulled up to a church. We're looking around, we're showing up people. I just signed a contract with somebody to do it. I've got trucks, I got fuel, I've got a generator. We got an RV that was pretty cool. And we want we're down there to help people but make money. It's a business, and we're a very honest company since 1969. We had credentials, people would check us out, but we were just late. And a few of them go, gee, I wish we would have talked to you an hour ago. We were just too late. But we passed this church a few times. It was something Assembly of God. I should remember the name. And all these people were out, the chairs were out front. I don't want to go into the whole story, but I'm going to make it short by saying we went in there. They said, we don't have any insurance and we don't have any money. And I was talking about Big Daddy, who passed away, a month ago. I flew up for his funeral. Greg says to me, well, we got to call my dad because these people don't have any money, and they don't have any way to pay us. I go, your dad's going to say, do the job. So we stayed down there for, I guess it was, 4 or 5 days. And we ended up leaving a guy and all of our equipment there, and got them to where they were settled and, all dry and torn out, and then could rebuild. And we charged them $0. So we come back up to DC, and it was less than a week later. The Marriott down in Baltimore Harbor had a massive flood. I'm not going to tell you the number because it'll freak people out, but it was extremely huge flood, and it was very good for our business. We went and mobilized all of our teams out there, and I said, you know what? Whenever you do something good for God, it comes back to you tenfold. Well, it came back a gazillion fold because we didn't charge them a dime.
Right.
But that was a great thing about working with A1 Flood Tech. Sure, we were down there to go down and make money, and we wish, we still wanted to make money down there. We didn't. At the end of the day, we took care of people, and then we were taken care of a week later. And we did business with Marriott for a number of years. What a great group to work with. We had agreements with them in place with a lot of other companies. And I know what you mean. If you have an agreement in place prior to something like this happening, if you don't, you're kind of out of luck now, but you want to think about that in the future for the next time. Unfortunately, there's always going to be a next time where we are. I was watching the weather, and I'm grateful that you're on the dirty side. I think I'm too south for the dirty side.
Yeah.
The dirty side of the storm, that's where you have your tornadoes whip up. They do some damage. John Marks of WRG, who's going to be working a lot for the next several weeks, he had this beautiful BMW 5 Series that he had just made the last payment on when they had a hurricane 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And he parked it over at his friend's house to protect it. And a tree came right through the windshield and took out the car.
He should have helped a church out previous to that.
I think that's great. But he had insurance and it all worked out. And that's the thing. Calm down, be safe. First and foremost, just to protect you and your family and your friends. Make sure everybody's safe. This is all property that can be rebuilt regardless of what happens. Andrew, which is a famous one in South Florida, that was just
Oh,
horrendous. And South
first one
Florida
I've
made a lot
worked.
of decisions. But you know, keep everybody safe, and then and then get reputable contractors to come out there and take care of you after all said and done. But this is just part of the deal. I carry. I should have had it stacked up over here. I always have 3 huge cases of water in my house at all times. Just period. I have it, and then I also have a big thing of canned food. I'm not a big fan of canned food, but if I lose power and I'm out for a few days, I'm ready. So, and a lot of Floridians are that way. We kind of live in this stuff. It's tougher for people in other areas that aren't used to having these events, but we have to be prepared. But boards, please, you want to engage with companies like Wayne and be proactive, not reactive in these situations.
Well, and yeah, and another thing to your point regarding the decisions that the boards are going to have to make. Any cams that are watching this, please tell your boards there's a big difference between working a storm, working a hurricane versus somebody putting a roof on. It's turned into, probably within the last 8 years, into a science. And good contractors have they have the manpower, they have the capability, they have the back office to assist in any claim settlement that might be needed. They have the ability to work with PAs. Your regular roofing companies that will put a roof on for capital budget purposes, you do not want to engage them as a learning curve on how to do hurricane work, because you will lose. I saw that in Irma, where the vast majority of the roofs that we replaced were ones that roofing companies missed because they didn't know that it was discontinued tile. If something is discontinued, you are merited a full roof replacement. So never take for granted what a roofer will tell you. You need to ask them one simple question. How much hurricane work have you done in the last 8 years? If they haven't done any, then don't use them. Do not use them. We cut it. We did a vast amount of work on the last hurricane with Hurricane Irma, and it was all hurricane work. So we I don't want to say have a lot of practice because we've been here since 2001, but
Right.
you need to be current. You need to know what the market dictates. You need to know about supply shortages. Where are you finding your crews? If you don't keep your crews busy, they will leave. Lots of buyer beware at this time, Mr. Kuhn.
Yeah.
Lots of it. And all the
Be,
cams listening, please understand that. Do not use your property as a learning curve for a company that doesn't know how to do hurricane work. It's a lot different.
If you think you're going to save a few bucks, you're not. It's an insurance claim usually. So
So it's
let's
not about
just,
the money.
yeah,
Yep.
just let's protect the building right
Yep.
after it happens, and then let's go through the process. I'm not going to brag or anything, but you could call LGC and we can help people through the process as well. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
sort of what we
Yep.
do. I really wasn't looking to advertise our business. We're pretty busy right
Well, you
now.
should. You should.
But yeah, but you're right, and it's always about slow down to speed up, or slam on the brakes to start up. You don't want to sit there and just jump in there and start doing things,
No.
because money will fly out the window, mistakes will be made, and then it's, why did you have the insurance? So just
Yep.
relax, qualify things, verify things, hire an owner's rep like LGC or somebody else. That, as long as they're reputable.
As long as they're reputable.
Wayne and I are both big proponents that we want our competitors to be great competitors. We don't
Yes.
want people to use us because we're the only good guys available. And there are a lot of good companies out there. There's good companies that do what both of us do, but just check their credentials. Make sure they're qualified to do what you need them to do. Ask questions. They might not know every single answer. They might, hey, let me check. That's okay. But if they don't, like Wayne said, if they haven't done a job like that in ever, or the last 5 or 8 years, maybe they're not the right one for this project. So just be very diligent, but we always say at LGC, slow down to hurry up. And on this situation, there's going to be so much happening. We already have material
Oh,
issues. We have a
oh
supply
yeah.
chain issue in this country.
And
You
it's
don't think
about
this
to
is going
get
to affect it?
worse, a lot worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
it's gonna be years. If this does indeed hit Tampa, which a lot of people know that um, Katrina was happened as a result of, that was a Cat 5 that was barreling down. And guess what the target was? It was Tampa, and it shifted literally within the last couple hours. Boom, there goes NOLA. It's all gone. It's underwater. Now, something like that could happen. We don't know. It
right.
could go any direction. There's a lot of variables that can happen, but everybody in
It's
Tampa right now needs to
it's like my
understand
golf ball.
it doesn't know where it's going to go.
It's like my golf ball. You just have no idea where it's going to go. And
Exactly.
it's, as a hurricane chaser, it's pretty interesting because sometimes I got to the right place and sometimes I was hundreds of miles off. I remember we were heading down to New Orleans for a lot of people don't realize that they had another hurricane after Katrina, and
Yep.
that was pretty bad. So we were heading down to that one, and I had made a hotel reservation maybe an hour outside of New Orleans, and they called me up. I think as we were in the RV again, and they called me up and they said, our hotel's underwater, so you need to make other plans, which I thought was incredible service on their part to call me. And so,
Yeah.
and I've got a caravan of 20-foot box trucks and an RV heading down, and I said, take the NX exit and call the next guy, because back then we weren't as equipped with some of the technology. And even though we should have, because it was available, I just wasn't, I didn't have it. We should have had a group text. So we all took the next exit, and they knew to follow us, because we're in a caravan. And there was a lot of caravans out there from all companies all over the East Coast
Right.
that were heading down. We pulled in, and there was a number of us, and we got 2 hotel rooms, the last 2 hotel rooms. There was a lot of guys in that room that night.
Wow.
But that's it's you just don't we don't know. I was in the business for years. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's coming somewhere, and unfortunately, everybody's just got to. And you know what? People think that people freak out because they get all safe and they make everything boarded up, and then it misses them. Yay. But it unfortunately means it's going to hit somebody else. But I'm always amazed when
Right.
people get upset because they felt that they spent too much money for a storm that didn't hit. I'm like for us, if we're doing a big concrete restoration job, you got to demobilize the swing stages and make everything safe. And so you got to do it a couple days in advance. Well, if it misses you, the board's going, oh, we still got to pay the bill. Yeah, you did. And thank God it didn't get worse. You
Yeah.
build
Right.
that into your contract. We're ready for it. But geez, you just, now we're past that preparedness portion. Now we have to deal with whatever happens to anybody that gets hit, and just be diligent. Don't be reactive. Take your time. Call your attorney. Call your insurance people. Don't
Call
let the
Wayne.
hothead lead the way. Call Wayne. Call Kelly.
Call Kelly. Call us because
571-214-7765. So, but
I don't think I'm going
yeah,
to give my number out on the World Wide Web, but you just did.
I'm so my number's everywhere. I've got it on my LinkedIn, right? You can see right on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know where else it is too, but I'll leave that off the way. I'll leave that off the
Facebook.
internet.
So, but and we've done this. We've dealt with this stuff. This is up our wheelhouse.
Oh yeah.
And a few of my project managers came from emergency restoration too. So we actually have such a diverse team of our now 20 employees celebrating our first year in business. We've all been doing it for decades, but as a business,
Yep.
we're hitting our year anniversary, which we're pretty excited about. But and if people have questions, make a phone call.
Yep.
I will disperse good information. I'm not going to bill you. I'm not an attorney.
Yep.
We're going to try, but if you engage with us, it's different. But we just want everybody to be safe. That's the most important thing. And you know, like Wayne said, we know where it's gonna, if it hits Tampa, it stinks because Tampa is not prepared for this. They really
Not
aren't. I
even
mean,
close,
if it's
brother.
Pensacola, unfortunately, Pensacola's been hit a lot. So they're kind of used to it. It's not a major freak out to the people because most of them have been through it. It's been a long time for us in South Florida. So people have memories of it, but you know, we have how many millions of people moving every day to Florida. And so it's gonna be quite a shock, especially for the people in Tampa. And you know, we just want them to be safe but just keep yourself safe, and then we'll worry about getting everything put back to like it never happened, as one famous company says, you know, after the fact. But you know, please heed Wayne's advice big time. So
Amen, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you.
so welcome to Florida, Wayne.
Yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why I was destined to be here. I mean, certainly, I don't believe in coincidences, and a lot of stuff that I've been doing in this market, people are going to be the beneficiaries of our company and our expertise. And boy, if it's ever going to be needed, it's going to be in a day or two.
You spent years down here with your
Yep,
business,
vacationing,
but
you bet. Oh yeah, and
and
working.
doing business, yeah. So
And working. We've had our license since 2002. Yep, for sure.
But isn't it nice knowing that now you live here? I mean, I think it's going to be completely better for you and your wife and everything, because now you're actually here. It's not a point where you feel the pressure of being away from home. And
right.
No, you know, when I first moved down here, I was in the restoration business, and then I moved into the owner's rep business. But I told people I got sick of chasing the storm, so now I let them come to me, which is a terrible joke, but it's kind of true.
I actually missed the first 2 years, basically, of my son's life, working down here, handling the hurricanes. We rented a place in Kissimmee outside of Orlando to be able to service all of our clients that we had. And then, so I would spend half the month, you know, in the Orlando area. Then I fly back to Minnesota, and then we would just rotate. You know, the team would rotate. So yeah, and he's in college now. He's starting his own life. Certainly different circumstances, but yeah, I'm very happy to be here, and it's going to be go time soon.
Yeah, brother. Well, be safe. If you need anything, call me. And
I will.
listen,
I appreciate it.
Where you know we've seen this, and you know this isn't our favorite time ever, you know, because you don't want anybody to be affected. But you know, I'm glad there are good quality companies out there like ABC that's equipped to take care of people when bad things do happen. So hats off to you, brother.
Back at you. We'll be yapping. Okay, brother.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Everybody have a great day. Be safe.
All right. Bye.